Tracy and Helen had a surprise in store for their new employee. As they locked the door, the atmosphere became thick with unspoken desires. When the new employee entered, the three of them experienced a kind of pleasure never before felt. It was an ordinary Thursday morning at the warehouse, and I was going about my usual routine, organizing inventory and preparing for the next shipment. The sounds of forklifts and conversations filled the space, but my attention kept shifting to my two bosses, Tracy and Helen. Both women were in their 60s, but their confidence and charisma made them stand out from the rest of the crowd. Tracy, at 64, had silver-streaked hair that draped elegantly over her shoulders, while Helen, 60, had lively chestnut curls. They commanded attention wherever they went, and as I watched them interact, I felt a flutter in my chest that I couldn't quite explain. Something about that day, however, felt different. Tracy and Helen exchanged glances full of unspoken understanding, hinting at a secret. As noon approached, they called me into their office, my heart racing as I wondered what they needed. Their office was cozy, filled with plants and soft lighting, a stark contrast to the industrial feel of the warehouse. "Could you do us a favor?" Tracy asked, her eyes gleaming with mischief. "Of course," I replied, my curiosity piqued. Helen leaned in, her voice low and inviting. "We need help organizing the storage room, but there's a catch. It needs to be done in complete privacy." Before I could question her, Tracy walked to the door and locked it, a sly smile spreading across her face. Just the three of us, no interruptions. A rush of excitement and nervousness swept over me as they led me to the back of the warehouse, where the storage room awaited. The air buzzed with anticipation, and I couldn't help but wonder what they had planned. Once inside, they started pulling boxes off the shelves, their laughter echoing through the room. I joined in, but my mind was elsewhere, distracted by the feeling that this was more than just a simple task. As we worked, the atmosphere shifted. Playful chatter gave way to lingering glances, soft touches, and laughter that felt charged with something deeper. Helen's hand brushed against mine as she passed me a box, sending a jolt through me, and Tracy caught my gaze, holding it longer than usual, her smile warm and inviting. The heat in the room was undeniable, and the tension continued to grow. After about an hour of organizing, we took a break, sitting on the floor amid the boxes, sharing stories and laughter. The initial task was forgotten. I became captivated by their stories, their lives, and the wisdom they had gained with age. It was intoxicating, and I found myself leaning in closer, drawn to them both in ways I hadn't anticipated. Ever the instigator, Helen playfully nudged Tracy. "You know, we've been waiting for the right moment to tell you something." My heart raced. What could it be? Tracy smiled knowingly, as if she had anticipated this moment. "What is it?" I asked, barely able to contain my curiosity. Tracy took a deep breath, her eyes locking onto mine. "We've noticed a connection between the three of us, and we'd like to explore it further." My pulse quickened. "There's something about you that draws us in, and we want to see where this leads." The world around us seemed to fade, and the charged space between us became all that mattered. "Are you serious?" I stammered, trying to process their words. "Absolutely," Helen said in a sultry whisper. "We're not just your bosses, we want more." Before I could respond, Tracy leaned in, her lips brushing against my ear. "Are you open to this?" I could barely breathe, the air thick with desire. I nodded, caught in a whirlwind of emotions. They moved closer, and the distance between us disappeared. Helen's hand found my cheek, her touch soft and inviting, and I leaned into her palm, savoring the warmth of her skin. Tracy's fingers trailed along my arm, igniting a fire within me that I had never experienced before. Our lips met in a tentative kiss, and I felt the world dissolve around us. The kiss was sweet and soft, a lingering promise of what was to come. I tasted a hint of coffee on Tracy's lips and felt the warmth of Helen's breath as she pulled me closer. The kiss deepened, and I lost myself in the moment, surrendering to the sensations that engulfed me. They took turns exploring my lips, their kisses a dance of passion and tenderness. I melted between them, their bodies a comforting presence against mine. Helen's hands tangled in my hair, gently pulling me closer, while Tracy's fingers traced the curve of my waist, igniting a fire that spread through my entire body. Time seemed to stand still as we got lost in the rhythm of our movements. Helen's lips traveled down my neck, leaving a trail of warmth and desire, while Tracy's kisses sparked an urgency within me. Their bodies pressed against mine, the heat rising as we ventured into uncharted territory, both thrilling and terrifying. The passion between us built, the tension stretching taut. They shared secret glances, filled with longing, and the air crackled with unspoken words. "This is just the beginning," Tracy murmured, her breath hot against my ear. Each kiss, each caress blurred the lines between desire and reality. The warehouse faded into the background, leaving just the three of us and the electric connection that filled the space. Helen pulled back slightly, her eyes meeting mine with an intensity that left me breathless. "We want to explore every part of you," she whispered, her voice low and filled with promise. A shiver ran through me, my heart pounding as anticipation coursed through my veins. The thrill of the unknown wrapped around us, and I found myself nodding, eager to dive deeper into this new intimacy. "I want that too," I admitted, the words spilling out with a raw honesty that even surprised me. With a newfound determination, they took my hands and gently pulled me to my feet. Together we moved in sync, like a dance guided by passion and desire. Tracy took the lead, her hands sliding down my sides, while Helen pressed against my back, her warmth surrounding me. We began exploring each other, our fingers tracing over soft curves and firm lines, igniting sparks with every touch. They took turns kissing me, the kisses becoming more intense, more demanding. I could feel their hearts beating against mine, creating a symphony of desire that filled the air around us. Tracy's hands slid beneath my shirt, her touch electric against my skin, as Helen's lips trailed soft kisses along my collarbone, leaving me breathless. Every brush of their lips awakened parts of me I hadn't known existed. The warehouse, once a place of work, had transformed into our private sanctuary, a space where our desires could be set free without fear of judgment. We lost ourselves in the rhythm of our bodies, a passionate exploration that felt like it could last forever. Each kiss, every touch brought us closer together, weaving us into a tapestry of intimacy. I felt cherished, wanted, and alive in a way I had never experienced before. Hours passed as we surrendered to the moment, the world outside slipping away. Our bodies moved in harmony, intertwined with a perfect blend of passion and tenderness. The connection between us deepened with every heartbeat, as if we had created our own universe within the walls of the warehouse, a world filled with warmth, laughter, and the intoxicating taste of love. Eventually, we slowed down, our breaths mingling in the air like a soft lullaby after a storm of passion. I felt their hearts beating against mine, a beautiful harmony that resonated deep within me. In that moment, I knew we had crossed a threshold, one that would change our relationship forever. Helen brushed her fingers against my cheek, a gentle smile playing on her lips. "This is just the beginning for us," she whispered, and I couldn't help but agree. The promise of more adventures, more intimacy, and more shared moments hovered in the air, pulling us in. As we sat together, the weight of the world lifted, and I felt a connection that went beyond the physical, a bond built on trust, laughter, and a shared journey into the depths of desire. My heart swelled with anticipation for what lay ahead, for the uncharted territory we had just started to explore. As the sun began to set outside, casting golden light through the small windows of the warehouse, I realized that what had begun as a simple task had turned into something far more profound. Tracy and Helen were no longer just my bosses, they were now my partners, my confidants, and the women with whom I would embark on a passionate adventure, unlike anything I had known before. In that quiet moment, as we locked eyes, I knew that something extraordinary had begun. We were bound together by an unforgettable connection, a love that was just beginning to unfold, waiting to be explored with every lingering kiss, every soft caress, and every whispered promise of what was yet to come. The warehouse door might have been locked, but our hearts were wide open, ready to embrace the adventure ahead. As the sun sank lower in the sky, filling the warehouse with a golden glow, I couldn't help but feel that this moment marked the start of something truly special. The air around us was thick with possibilities, and we exchanged glances full of excitement and unspoken desires. I turned to Tracy and Helen, their eyes shining with a mixture of tenderness and anticipation, and I knew I was ready to dive even deeper into this journey. "Where do we go from here?" I asked, my voice soft but filled with curiosity. Tracy smiled, her gaze soft as she moved closer. "Let's take our time and enjoy every moment," she replied. "This is about discovering each other and uncovering what we truly desire." Her words sent a wave of warmth through me, and my heart raced with the thrill of the unknown. Helen stepped closer, her fingers gently brushing my arm, leaving a trail of warmth in their wake. We can start with something simple, she suggested, her voice low and inviting. Let's share our dreams, our desires. What do you truly want? Her question hung in the air, and a wave of vulnerability washed over me. I had never revealed my deepest desires to anyone before, let alone two women who now meant so much to me. Taking a deep breath, I opened up. I've always wanted to explore love without boundaries, to connect with someone in a way that goes beyond just the physical, I confessed. I looked into their eyes and saw the spark of understanding between them. I want something real, something passionate, where we can be ourselves without fear. Their expressions softened, and the warmth in their eyes deepened. That's what we want too, Tracy said gently, stepping even closer. We've been waiting for someone like you, someone who understands the beauty of connection. Helen nodded, her eyes shimmering with emotion. We want to create memories together, moments we'll cherish forever. With those words, the air between us shifted, becoming charged with intimacy. Tracy took my hand and led me to a cozy corner of the warehouse, where sunlight streamed through a dusty window, casting a soft glow over the space like a gentle spotlight. We sat down together, a soft warmth surrounding us. I felt a mix of nervousness and excitement as we settled into this new phase of our relationship. As we sat, the conversation flowed naturally, weaving together our shared dreams and fantasies. Tracy's voice was soothing, full of warmth, as she spoke about her vision of love, a bond based on trust and understanding, where every touch and kiss carried meaning. Helen's laughter was contagious as she shared her wildest dreams, painting a picture of adventure and passion. The more we talked, the more I felt my heart opening up to them. Each shared story brought us closer, and soon we found ourselves leaning in, our faces just inches apart. I felt the warmth of their bodies drawing me in, like a moth to a flame. There was an unspoken agreement between us, a desire to explore not just our bodies, but our hearts and souls. Finally, Tracy broke the silence. What if we make a promise to each other, she suggested, her voice sincere. A promise to explore this connection fully without fear or hesitation. Her eyes sparkled as she spoke. To be completely open with one another, sharing everything that comes to our hearts. I loved the idea and replied eagerly, feeling a rush of excitement at the thought of this commitment. Helen nodded enthusiastically, her eyes bright. Let's promise to cherish every moment, to always be honest and open with each other, she added. We extended our pinky fingers in a playful gesture, sealing our promise. The moment felt sacred, a bond created from trust and shared desires. As we let go of our fingers, I felt a wave of warmth, knowing we were embarking on a beautiful journey together. The warm light of the setting sun poured through the window, casting a gentle glow over us. In that intimate space, the outside world faded, leaving only the three of us and the electric energy that surrounded us. Tracy leaned in first, softly brushing her lips against mine. The kiss was tender and sweet, igniting a spark that spread through my entire being. I could taste the warmth of her breath, the sweetness of the moment filling the air. Not wanting to be left out, Helen pressed her lips to my cheek, then trailed soft kisses down my neck. I shivered at her touch, my heart racing as I leaned into the sensation. The world outside disappeared, and all I could feel was the intoxicating connection between us. Each kiss, each gentle touch, deepened our bond, solidifying our shared desires. As the sun sank lower, painting the sky with shades of pink and orange, I lost myself in the rhythm of our shared intimacy. Every kiss became more passionate, more urgent, as we explored the depths of our connection. I felt Tracy's hands roaming over my back, her fingers tracing soft patterns, while Helen's hands tangled in my hair, pulling me closer as she captured my lips with hers. Let's take our time, Tracy whispered between kisses, her voice thick with desire. We have all night, I nodded, overwhelmed by the beauty of the moment we had created together. We had formed a bubble of intimacy, a sanctuary where we could freely explore the depths of our feelings for one another. As the night wore on, our kisses grew deeper, more intense. Helen's fingers danced over my skin, leaving a trail of warmth with every touch. The warehouse was filled with the sound of soft laughter and whispered promises, a melody that echoed through the empty space. Time seemed to slow down, each moment stretching into eternity as we surrendered to the magic of our connection. My heart raced as we explored every inch of each other, the warmth of their bodies enveloping me. I marveled at how quickly we had become intertwined in this beautiful dance, a celebration of love, trust, and passion. In that secluded corner of the warehouse, we created our own world, one filled with laughter, love, and unbridled desire. Every kiss, every touch was a promise of what was to come as the night unfolded and we dove deeper into our adventure. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, we lost ourselves in a passionate embrace, our bodies entwined in a beautiful dance of desire. The outside world faded completely, leaving only the three of us and the intoxicating chemistry that crackled in the air. With every kiss, every caress, we explored one another with a sense of urgency, as if we were afraid to let the moment slip away. Tracy's hands roamed freely over my body, her fingers igniting a fire inside me. I could feel the heat radiating from her skin as I pulled her closer, our breaths mingling in a sweet harmony of desire. Helen watched us, a glimmer of mischief in her eyes, before joining the embrace. She wrapped her arms around both of us, her touch warm and inviting. Our kisses grew more fervent, more desperate, as we delved deeper into our connection. I felt the softness of Helen's lips on my neck, her breath hot and inviting, while Tracy's hands tugged at my shirt, encouraging me to let go of any lingering hesitation. With a gentle pull, she removed it, her hands tracing the contours of my body, mapping every inch as though it were a treasure waiting to be discovered. I felt the pulse of passion between us, a rhythm that drove us forward into a world where nothing else mattered. As the night deepened, we fully surrendered to the moment. The warehouse became our sanctuary, filled with whispers, laughter, and the symphony of our shared desires. We exchanged kisses that spoke of longing and promise, our hands exploring every curve and edge, igniting a passion that felt boundless. It was more than just physical, it was a deep exploration of trust, vulnerability, and connection. Our bodies moved in perfect sync, a beautiful dance of love and desire that pulled us closer together. We lost ourselves in one another, each kiss deepening the bond between us, solidifying our connection in a way that felt both thrilling and sacred. On that magical night, we became more than just three souls in a warehouse. We became a beautiful tapestry, woven together by love, desire, and an unbreakable bond that would last a lifetime.